Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unpacking one of the most awe-inspiring, absolutely electrifying, and yet ultimately heartbreaking stories in modern football. We are tracking the 2025-2026 debut season of a 19-year-old Chelsea prodigy, Estêvão Willian. We're going to map out exactly how he took the Premier League by storm, the absolute tactical masterclass that unlocked his potential, and then the devastating injury that brought his meteoric rise to a sudden, screeching halt.
To really grasp the sheer scale of this player's arrival, you have to start with this staggering number, a $130 million transfer value. Coming into the 25-26 season, Estêvão was officially ranked as the #2 Wonderkid in world football, trailing only Barcelona's Lamine Yamal. This wasn't just another prospect, you know? This was a literal franchise-altering signing for Chelsea.
And as you might guess, with that massive price tag came an incredibly heavy expectation. I mean, it's perfectly summed up by his childhood nickname, Messinho. Imagine arriving in Europe as a teenager and carrying the immense weight of being called a generational talent, constantly compared to literally one of the greatest players to ever step on a pitch. But as we'll see, he didn't just carry that weight, he completely thrived under it.
His ascent was nothing short of hyperspeed. From his early days learning the ropes at the Cruzeiro Academy back in 2017, he seamlessly transitioned to the famed Palmeiras youth setup in 2021. Fast forward to 2024, and he has this explosive breakout season in Brazil, netting 13 goals in Serie A and taking home the Best Newcomer award. That absolute domestic dominance immediately triggered his monumental 2025 arrival at Stamford Bridge. He was well and truly fast-tracked for greatness.
36. That is the number of appearances he made across all competitions in what is known to be a brutally physical debut season in England. Before everything changed, he'd already racked up 8 goals and 4 assists. And let's be clear, he wasn't just being eased in on quiet cup nights against lower league opposition. No way. He was a focal point of the Chelsea attack from day one.
Section 1. Maresca's Tactical Blueprint. Okay, let's dive into this. Chelsea's manager Enzo Maresca essentially built a highly structured positional system specifically to exploit this teenager's elite abilities. On the team sheet, sure, Estêvão was a right winger, but his actual role? An inverted right-sided playmaker. It works like a giant puzzle. He receives the ball wide, but immediately drifts inside onto his dominant left foot. By doing this, he creates these tricky passing triangles in the half spaces, completely collapsing the opposition's defensive block. Crucially, pulling those defenders inside opens up massive wide corridors for the overlapping right back and for Estêvão himself. It maximizes his central shooting angles, turning him into a constant lethal threat right from the edge of the box. But here is where we start to see the physical toll bubble up to the surface. Maresca knew he had a Ferrari on his hands, and you've got to manage a Ferrari's mileage, right? A traditional wide winger role involves super aggressive carrying and taking a lot of high physical contact. A central number 10 role, on the other hand, limits the running load and really conserves energy. Take that pivotal Champions League game against Ajax, for instance. Maresca shifted Estêvão centrally in the second half. Why? Well, because they had a grueling Premier League clash just 48 hours later. It was a deliberate tactical shift to protect the teenager from the intense physical demands of English football. A brilliant move for sure, but also a pretty stark foreshadowing of the fatigue that was clearly building up behind the scenes.
Section 2. By the numbers. Just look at the efficiency here. An 81% passing accuracy in the Champions League. To put that into perspective, for an 18-year-old playing such a high-risk attacking style against the absolute best teams in Europe, this kind of efficiency is exceptionally rare. He wasn't just some chaos merchant trying to hero dribble past 5 players and losing the ball. He was surgically threading passes into the box, executing perfectly timed cutbacks, and making incredibly mature decisions in the final third.
Which brings us to 3.7 successful dribbles per 90 minutes. That specific stat places him in Europe's absolute highest bracket for progressive carries inside the box for under 20 players. He broke lines, he changed angles, and he drew fouls at an elite level. He was, quite simply, playing like a seasoned veteran out there.
But what happens when the momentum suddenly stops? When a player is flying so high and moving so incredibly fast, the fall can be absolutely devastating. And unfortunately, that is exactly what happened here.
Section 3. The devastating setback. On April 18th, during a crucial, high-stakes match against Manchester United, everything changed in a single instant. The diagnosis was brutal, a grade 4 hamstring injury. This isn't just a simple strain or a minor tweak. A grade 4 means a complete tear or rupture of the hamstring muscle. It's a severe sports tragedy, grounded in a very harsh medical reality. It requires extensive, grueling rehabilitation, completely ruling him out for the remainder of the season, and putting an abrupt, incredibly painful end to a truly historic debut year.
And the collateral damage of this goes far beyond club football. His 2026 World Cup dream with Brazil, it's over. At just 19 years old, he had fought and played his way into contention for literally the grandest stage in international sports, only to have his body give out just weeks before the tournament. It's heartbreaking.
Section 4. What happens next?
So how exactly are they managing this massive rehab amid all the media noise? Well, first off, widespread reports of a big disagreement between Chelsea and Estêvão's camp over an operation, entirely false. Actually, both the player and the club are perfectly aligned on this. There is currently no surgery planned. Instead, they've agreed on a comprehensive rehabilitation roadmap that'll see the teenager return to South America for his initial recovery phase. This lets him heal up in a familiar, comfortable environment back home.
Which leaves us with this final lingering question. Can the Premier League's brightest young star reclaim his trajectory? We've just watched a generational talent touch the absolute dizzying heights of European football, only to suffer an Icarus-like fall back to earth. Look, the talent is undeniable. The mindset is fearless, but the road back from a complete muscle rupture, it's totally unforgiving. So will Messina return to Stamford Bridge next season with that same explosive magic, or will this injury permanently alter his ceiling? It's the question that will define the very next chapter of his career, and frankly, the entire future of Chelsea's attack. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes on how this recovery unfolds. See you next time.